Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome to day 4 of the 12 Days of Anime. Today we are looking at Shonen being the genre we're focusing on, and that would be, for me, the best Shonen of the season. One of the hardest ones I had to actually think of. Actually, no, this one was almost a dead tie for me, but I was really thinking about, what made this one stand out more than what I was planning originally. So it was actually between, and this is, kind of an obvious one, but it was between Attack on Titan second season or My Hero Academia second season. And ultimately what came out on top was My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia second season, because to me, it filled the shonen theme better than Attack on Titan, which, by the way, Attack on Titan may or may not appear on my 12 days. We'll find out, though. But for My Hero, it did something that I feel very few shows actually accomplish correctly. So, the first season of My Hero has definitely been one of those things where people are mixed on it. People love it, some people think it's okay, and then some people feel like it's just utter garbage. And I've always wondered why you would think the latter. I think that, at best, My Hero Season 1 could be seen as okay. I mean, I personally loved the first season, to be honest with you. That was me. I loved it. I think it was like one of my favorite shonens when I first saw it. But the second season took what was great about the first season, used the money that it clearly made from the first season and the manga, obviously, and incorporated that into the second season, because visually, fights, everything, animations, it's just, everything about the second season was absolutely breathtaking. And it was clearly an improvement over the first season in every aspect. You could even look at side-by-sides of Deku, when they have the flashback scenes, and you can see the difference in even how his character looks. It's not just an age thing of like, oh, he's a little older now. No, it's everything of how he looked. He looked better. He looked, more vibrant. His outfit had a thing where, even though it was updated, it had a more visual flair to it. Everyone in general had a flair to them. The action, especially some of the fights with Stain, who was probably one of the best villains of 2017, hands down, just flew so naturally. Bones really knocked it out of the park with the second season, to say the least. And to me, that is the pinnacle of what a second season should be. Because often, second seasons are hit or miss for shows. I'm not going to start nitpicking which shows I'm talking about, because I feel like that would take me like 9 hours. And with the 12 days of anime, I want to focus on this season, obviously. But, it's crazy because a lot of shows, when they have the second season, they either hit or miss sometimes. It's not that they're bad, mind you. I don't want to say a second season is ever really bad. I mean, there have been examples of, like, we'll throw one example here, Blue Exorcist Season 2, which was considerably better than the first season, but at the same time had some issues with pacing and other things too. But My Hero wasn't like that. My Hero Academia, besides having maybe one episode I wasn't a huge fan of, out of the whole thing, out of, I think it was like 13 episodes, it just was so much more enriching. It was so much more, I want to say, impactful than the last season was. And how rare is that? And by the way, I said 13 episodes. I just looked; it was 25 episodes. So I apologize for that. I forgot they had a 2-core thing with this. But what was crazy though is that out of 25 episodes, if you only dislike one episode, that's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. You can even look on Mal right now. I have Mal open right now because I'm using it just as a thing to make sure I get all the studio stuff and write it. I've been doing that with, by the way, all of these things. I don't want to just go off my memory. Sometimes my memory is a little fallible, so I hope you'll understand that. But what's funny though is, it's right now at 8.79, and that's awesome. It's almost a 9, and I could clearly see that if they do a third season, which they do plan on having a third season, I believe, and also we're gonna have a movie of My Hero, which I can't wait for. I don't care if it's a original type story or whatever. I want to see this movie so bad. But if they have a third season of this, if Bones realizes, hey, we did the right thing with the second season, we have to now just do it again, they can do it. I believe that they can do it, because My Hero is starting to blow up. It's starting to do a lot better. Maybe the manga isn't doing that great in Japan, unfortunately, but the anime is doing pretty well, and it's definitely getting some traction with that. So I definitely could see them paying a lot of money and going, we'll take the risk with the animation and just, shell out some more money to make sure that we get the stuff right. And when we have to, we'll have to hire other teams or whatever, but we'll make sure that those scenes, those fight scenes especially, look gorgeous. I'll tell you guys, it's very rare I gush over shonen stuff. I love shonen. It's not my favorite genre, but I did grow up with a lot of shonen programs, and I definitely have a lot of love for it. But the thing is, with shonen nowadays, and we had a thing about this on the podcast I'm part of, the Anime Brigade, which you can check out, episode 1. But I'll leave a link to the description for that in the description box below. But the thing is that, or actually a link to the video, I said description twice. That's staying in because it's okay. I make mistakes once in a blue moon, guys. I'm human. But what's great about Shonen is that it's something that, yes, it's always awesome, especially if you're a teenager or a young adult. But Shonen has definitely kind of seen a time period where it's become very formulaic, and that's why My Hero Academia second season, I feel like it took a lot of the tropes of Shonen, mind you, still has those in there, but it doesn't do them in the typical ways of how you would always expect them to go down. You know, it's not just one focus on one character. It's not just, oh, he loses, he gets stronger. No, it's more so, you feel like he's actually getting stronger because his loss is not because some supernatural force is making him stronger. Yes, he has a quirk that is powerful, but he still has to be reliant on his own thing. He has to get stronger of his own, nature, and also making sure that he's a student still. He learns and he adapts. That's why I like having Deku being a kind of a nerdy kid, because he's like, you can almost see that type of person being a good fighter because of the fact that if you gave them the ability to fight, they learn from enemies. They learn what people do. They learn from how, teams work. They can incorporate that into their fight. And thus, it feels more realistic as a shonen. It feels like a more modern day shonen than, or even probably more of an older shonen to me, at least, like Fist of the North Star stuff, because that's what I love about it. If that makes sense, hopefully it makes sense. I believe that makes sense, but I could be wrong. But for me, bottom line, My Hero Academia's second season, or Boku no Hero Academia's second season, was just incredible, and it probably was my favorite, if not, I think for a lot of people, their favorite of the 2017 season, shonen-wise. Anyways, guys, what are your thoughts of that? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure, by the way, to tell me what you're thinking about these videos, because this is the last one I'll be recording in advance. The rest I will record a little bit after, so I'll do all of them in a row for that. But let me know what you guys are thinking about this. If you want me to change things up, feel free to tell me. I'll tell you if I can do it or if I can't. It's no big deal. Have a great one, everyone. God bless you all. See you on day 5.